5:05 or 5:03, I'll call the meeting to order. Have you read the minutes out?
I read it before. I did have one question from what you had put out as the revised minutes.
Okay.
On the UV light, is DEP saying we have to change the UV light, or we want looking into changing the UV light to avoid having to do the full log?
So they don't accept our model of UV light. Our model of UV light is one of the early units. Even the one in the Walnut Street tank is an early unit. So
It is?
Yeah, so they've only currently accepted one type of unit. So all I was saying, that you need time, contact time, and you have that whole field. You could just, what they're suggesting people do is, and it is happening, is people looping the pipe back and forth.
That's crazy.
But if we do the UV light, we don't have to.
But then you have to pay electricity.
Yeah.
You're not gaining anything. Right? If you have one that's a log 4 certified, yes. I don't know what the UV lights cost, and repiping the entire configuration inside of the plants.
So we could add the UV light, not do the big.
Right. So you'd have to look and calculate. You get a cost on what they accept. I'd have to call DEP, see what they accept for the model, then call Trojan UV and say, what's it cost for this unit, and then a guesstimate of what it would cost to repipe the plant around the UV light and get it installed.
So short of it is DEP hasn't actually said we have to change it right now. That's something we're looking into to see if it's
Rick thing, but it costs you electricity to run
Yeah.
that UV. We're already treating with Myox anyways. You could raise the residual, and then for free, you're just running it back and forth in a piece of pipe before it hits the street.
That's a lot of piping to do.
I'm not sure until we'll do the calculations.
Oh.
yeah.
How much
So as far as now, we're looking into it.
Could be 1,000 feet of pipe.
Yeah, we don't necessarily have to change it.
No, just to become log served, so.
Yeah, so just change it maybe to, we're looking into
Yeah, Mr.
revising.
Parks asked, Mr. Kruger asked Mr. Parks to find out what type you need and what he's going to.
Yeah, but just take out the DEP said we have to change
Yeah,
it.
just take out that
Because
sentence.
we don't have to, then that's fine.
I mean, station 1, we could slam the gate shut and send it out cross-country, and then it gets its contact time, which you don't go out the other way. Most of our stations, all of our first customers are right there. And they require that you sample from just before at the log 4 certification. So if it's 1,000 feet out, I've got to run 1,000 feet of blue plastic back to my pH analyzer.
Which would be easier if it was inside the
Right.
fence.
Manley Street's due for a well rehab anyway, so we'll see what happens with this month's round of sampling when it comes up.
When was that rehab last?
So I've been rotating through them all, so it was 4 years, so it'll be 5 years this year.
That's all we're getting out of it?
Yeah, and well, Manley is really bad for iron and manganese, really bad. So when they pulled, I forget, they replaced something in there, they said that it should have been rehabbed then, but I'm like, no, it's not. It's gotta wait its turn.
We'll leave the minutes, yeah, just about that side. No, we'll leave the minutes.
Oh,
Just
okay.
check that section. No.
set with that stuff.
You sign minutes?
Signed minutes are all signed, yeah. So that's it for new business. Old business, unidirectional flushing program, Wayne?
So we're in zone 6 of 9 zones, but we're coming up, so this week, we'll
You've been going in order and you're up in zone 6?
yeah, so this week will be the last week that we can flush, then we have to let the system sit so we can do our monthly samples. I don't wanna go up till the end with the samples, I wanna, so then if we pass samples in the week of the 20th, then we'll be good to go again.
27th, you can go again?
But that depends upon weather. If it drops below freezing at night,
Yeah.
then I already have DPW guys with us, then I'll have 2 more driving and sander trucks behind us. So it kind of closes out the season.
You know, you work around what you can.
Yeah. Have you been doing any flushing during the day?
No, they wanted to stay at night, so they've stayed at night. So, I mean, if it freezes out, then we could try to watch daytime temperatures thing. Problem is that this flushing program does not flush all the hydrants, it only flushes about half of them. So now, we're not maintaining our other hydrants.
But you can always go flush those afterwards, right?
Well, you don't want to flush them
Because it could
afterwards.
stir it up, yeah.
Yeah, you'll stir it up.
Yeah, that program's to flush the pipes, not necessarily
We
the.
really
operate
didn't
the
need a
hydrants.
unidirectional, we should have just gone to by doing it twice a year, and it would have covered it, because 6 months you build up enough dirt in the system. This summer, we went through the entire summer and only had about 4 complaints, and most of them had to do with people on water filters, not with actual dirty water.
How did Conrad make out on Crescent Street? He changed his water service? He had his
Yeah.
water service changed?
He did have his water service changed, yes. I wasn't there, I was out that day, but I know he had it changed.
That solved the problem. I never talked to him after, did he?
I don't know, we kept telling him repeatedly to remove that filter. He illegally put it on the back side of the meter, and this, so
Oh,
we,
it's on the street side of the meter?
well, he put it not on the street side, but he put it directly onto the meter, so we couldn't hook up a garden hose to say, hey, there's no problem on this side. We couldn't test it. Most people put in a filter, they put in a bypass so you can get around the filter. He didn't, he just, his brother's a plumber or whatever, and tied it right onto the meter, which he shouldn't have done. So
What did he have for a service? Was it steel service?
no, it was a copper service.
It was. All right.
There shouldn't have been anything.
Shouldn't have been any problem with that. So it probably didn't change. What did they put in?
Oh, they put back in copper.
1-inch copper? or-
Yep, and the copper they pulled out had no kinks.
And you re-tapped the main for him?
Oh, yeah, we recapped the main.
Send him a bill.
No, we can't do that. but-
So, well, I mean, he's had some sort of problem. I don't know.
So in older homes, I mean, he claims that, I come from a family of plumbers, so my house is 3/4 inch or 1 inch feeding and taps off with 1/2 inch. I can't tell what his spaghetti mess was because he's got an older home, but he claims it was all redone, his brother's a plumber.
I don't know.
Okay,
I was just curious. I know it's-
we've done everything I can possibly do. There's nothing wrong on our end up to
Okay.
our curb stop.
That's all we can do.
Yep.
What is it, 3/4 from the main to the curb stop?
Yeah.
And then they jumped up to 1-inch service going
Yep,
in?
but he's tapped on the 16 inch. He's got this.
Should be no issue.
Oh, there's lots of available water there. Yeah,
It
they
shouldn't
tested,
be,
he had about 7 GPM outside when they, when they tapped it, they brought up a thing and they ran it to a bucket and it exceeded 7 GPM.
So you put a new corporation in the main? when you
Yep.
did it, Right?
Yep,
Completely new location, everything, so.
yes, yep, and we abandoned the old one. We've done, there's nothing more I can do.
Nothing else you can do on our end.
No.
Nope.
Whatever it is.
It's gotta be inside the house.
Right.
I guess. That it for unidirectional flushing program?
Yeah, that's it for unidirectional.
Medicine disposal testing, any progress there?
I called the health agent, Bob Casper, and he actually left a couple messages, and then he went over it himself, but the guy wasn't in. So I talked to him on Thursday, he was gonna go over this weekend, give him a couple minutes so we could get back.
So we've had really no response from them at all?
Mhm.
And what did you send? 1 or 2 letters?
2.
2 letters. It's kind of weird, reading any response.
No, unless they're trying to figure out what they were supposed to do, what they haven't done, and how much trouble they might be in before they get back to us officially, probably.
Well, there's no trouble, just talk to us.
Well, no, but they might not, you know, the person running the building
Right.
probably reports to somebody further up.
And they may not even know what they were supposed to be doing, so. they
Right,
might figure
well,
out-
likely they don't know what they were supposed to be doing, so they never tested because they had no idea.
Whatever happened with the vet up there? Did we get a response from them?
I don't think we got anything from them either. We didn't hear back from anybody.
It's just those two, right, that we were concerned with?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
You mentioned to Casper about the vet.
I did not, I just.
Did they get 2 letters too?
No.
They got 1 letter?
One letter, yeah.
Do we want to send them another one?
It's in the-
Send one, and then if you check back in with Casper, you know, just mention that to him too, if he's going
Maybe
over
we
the
can
light.
stop it that's while he's up there, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't hurt staying on it, we're on it, might as well
Mhm.
get a resolution. Aquifer protection bylaw.
Not me.
No, that was brought up about with the medicine
Yeah.
Okay.
part, so I think those two kind of go together.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll wait and see what they were supposed to be doing, what they've been doing. Rate sheet, I know Rick was gonna look at that too.
Yeah, he hasn't come down to do it, but I'm through my lead and copper, I'm done with the flushing program, so.
Replacement
Well,
well?
he didn't come in after, because he had said he was gonna come in after the last
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
Okay.
So the replacement well, so they put out a request for proposal for surveyor so that they can document some spots for some test wells. I don't understand why we're in the middle of our property, but, so that's where that's at right now.
So finding a location at this point.
Yeah,
So, but they actually have started.
So a little
Yeah.
bit of progress.
yeah, we haven't seen anything, but,
No. New water service, we're not really doing anything there right now. are we?
you know, because he's holding off until we get through our permit and this other well.
Right.
Have you heard anything back on
Uh,
the, I know you've gone through the submittal for our flows?
So they applied, Tatter and Howard applied for they applied for an extension, and they have until November, I believe it's November 1st, Friday, November 1st. If they don't meet that deadline, then they have to go in before DEP and explain what we've done and why you need more time. I've done everything on my end. They're chasing the deed things for our,
Mitigation.
right.
Okay. Should we rattle that cage or? November 1st gonna come up pretty quick.
Yeah, it's Megan, so ask me if it comes to, or if I can.
Just a reminder, November 1st is coming up
Yeah,
in
Right,
3
if
weeks.
you
Yeah,
need
that's
me,
no
then I'll
problem.
get on the registry of deeds and we'll get a copy of the deed that shows.
Taylor and Howard has plenty of people that work for them. They can chase stuff.
I know,
We're kind of paying them to do that.
Seems like everything we have to do, we're kinda like,
I know.
right, doesn't it? Or is it me?
It's not you.
No, but we didn't do too good with the other engineer either, who advertises regularly that he's available and open for business, yet he wouldn't respond to us, and we only needed a few things at that point.
It's nothing huge.
Right.
That's part of the problem. It's nothing huge.
Yeah, that's maybe why.
You know, the louder ones that pay more money for their work get maybe a little more attention paid.
Yeah, if you get
I get it.
25% of a million, you
Yeah,
get 25% of 25 million, it's a lot better.
Yeah. But still, if you got, they shouldn't have had to go for an extension, and
Right.
they can't miss the event. They just need to
Right, this one
understand they
should be
can't miss
closed
the
now,
extension.
but everything's pretty much done.
Okay?
Where do we have the job description?
All right, so so I showed you the description before, I can make a copy, but it just covers everything. So now there's not just one position, we'll be filling two.
I know.
So, yeah, one of our operators has given us a notice, he's resigning his position.
Who's that?
Raymond is leaving to go off into the private sector somewhere.
Okay. So now we
So
have
we
to
need an
advertise for two.
operator and,
So basically, we'll just, that's what I'm just gonna put, so I don't wanna put it in the enterprise because it cost me about $1,200 for just a couple of days or a day. Well,
They're, the legal ads there.
I don't think anybody really goes to the
And I
enterprise,
don't-
we were talking
No,
about that earlier.
their job ad section is like, I don't even think it fills up the page, and I don't think it fills up a square anymore. Most of it's all done through like Indeed or Mass Waterworks or Plymouth County
I was gonna
Waterworks.
ask you,
Yeah.
I've seen emails come out from Plymouth
Right.
County Waterworks, and people.
Some of those we can, like Mass and Plymouth, I think we can put the ad in for free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Indeed may cost us, but I think you get more prospects out of them.
We have to put an ad up,
Yeah, I'll have to post it at
Yeah.
town hall and the bulletin board, I'll have to post it to the guys in their thing, I always get yelled at, because there's someplace I didn't post it, even though everybody knows it exists. Things like the.
when are you gonna be putting the ad up?
So we'll probably do it this next week.
when was Raymond done?
He's done at the end of this week.
Oh, that's so.
So we'll be going to, so currently we use 2 DPW guys at night, we'll be going to 3 DPW guys if we continue on flushing.
Yeah, we better get the ad up then, when we down and operate.
Yep. We'll just be figuring out, well, we'll talk about later about how we interview or something. I'd rather do like separate interviews, you guys interview them, I'll interview them separately, then we'll get together
I
and
think
figure
we've
out.
gotten them all in, looked at them, and then,
Yeah,
I think you.
Have you interview them first and give us a recommendation, or?
yeah, well, we're trying to figure out how to test so we can, there are nuances, or try to avoid things this time around.
Get all the applications and we can all look at them. and
Yeah.
Start with that.
And then there might be some like little tests here or there or something.
Well, again, one of these people is also, we're trying to do something that'll take some of the pressure off of you, so you can
Right.
deal with.
Well, I'm gonna, both of the
So-
positions will be, it'll be advertised as a degree position.
Degree, meaning college degree?
So, yeah, it'll be either earth,
Or water licenses, or
earth, chemistry,
somebody with some technical background,
right,
right? Isn't that what you
right,
need?
that's what I want. I'm not really, so I worry when I find somebody with, we don't, our pay isn't that high that we can steal people away from places when they've been there for a while. So if you have a water license floating around, there might be a reason it's floating around.
Unless, yeah, he's had it for a while, it's probably the reason.
I know there's one floating around and there's a reason for it floating around.
Been floating around for a while?
Oh, yeah, years.
Since the last time we were.
Well, that's, I mean, we don't want to pick up a problem if we don't need. it.
Right.
So,
You're gonna advertise, you want somebody technical, there's some sort of technical.
Right, I'm looking for electrical, chemistry, earth science.
Not just on the.
No, I don't need, I mean,
Need to do that too, but.
well, it doesn't seem that everybody knows how to operate a shovel either.
Nope.
They know how, they don't have to.
Yeah,
There's a, you gotta know how to use a shovel too.
yeah,
Especially you guys, look at the mains and stuff like that.
yeah.
So-
Alright, so that's.
So you'll get that out next,
I'm gonna try to have it out before we guys meet again, and it'll be out.
just maybe shoot us out an email
Yep.
and tell us the
That it-
position's been advertised.
Yep.
I'll tell you where I put it to.
Yeah.
How did you make out with the light tower?
So the light tower, we put it up there, I couldn't go because I had something to do that night, but I didn't hear any complaints, and I heard
I went
somebody
by, it was
go by
lit
it.
up well,
It was very well lit, yeah, so it works pretty good.
no issues there.
Didn't get stolen.
No, it still exists, so, yep. Yeah, we set it up Friday, Jerry called late Friday, so we went down and we got it all set up for him.
Doesn't hurt to run it.
No, it's good for it to exercise. We do exercise it at the, up at the water tank weekly anyways, just to make sure it stays running.
How old is that?
Now, that was like pretty much in the beginning, so I think about 4 years old.
Anybody got anything else?
Yep. So, we-
Well, as you say, status update on the GIS person. The committee met with Gagne last week, I think on Thursday. He's gonna set up the interviews for the two people that hiring them for GIS, not really for GIS and IT. They kind of officially said that at the meeting. And hopefully fairly quickly we'll have that thing filled.
yeah.
So it says GIS and IT?
Well, that's what they were trying to do. The last meeting, I said, that's, the committee came together, looked at the resumes and said it's not gonna work. You don't, it's not the same skill
It's two
set.
separate positions.
Yeah.
One's way up.
And Ed Sarro apparently said he'd stay on another year and have them try to come up with something to set a position up to replace him instead of trying to do what they were trying. So,
So it'll be just at GIS first.
yeah. I mean,
Where
it's-
will they be at the town hall?
No, they'd be here when they're working for us. The idea is if they want to try to find a spot at town hall they can work at when they're doing that or highway, or try to get them in the meantime to bring stuff down here or work down here. But like the people at town hall don't want that because then, you know, the givers, they have to come back and forth. You know.
Well, a person can easily be on a laptop. Like up town hall, they're probably gonna work off of a main.
They're actually talking about buying a laptop for the person,
Right.
so they can go back and forth, whatever.
Yep.
It's just they're complaining about how much space is available because the building department, when they start doing their renovation work, they're gonna have to be moving into other space, so there's not gonna be a lot of empty space available. So, but hopefully soon. That's it for that.
Wayne, that's something.
All right, so next week, at your next meeting, I'll have a vacation carryover request. I think I'll be, unless I take the entire month off, might be carrying 10 days. See if I can squeeze off some that doesn't rain all the time.
So 10 days from last year, you want to carry over?
Yeah,
What's the contract? So what are we allowed to do?
I'm allowed to do anything. Mine doesn't stipulate that. I think we've gone through, because mine doesn't go up to town hall, it stays here with you guys. I think the first year they did it, and then they kicked it back the second year and said, we don't have anything to do with you. And
Yeah.
so it's just you guys signing it, and then it gets carried over.
How many days do you get, Wayne?
I think I get 20.
20 days, a year?
Yeah.
So you want to carry half of them over next year?
Yep.
So you're going to take off for a month this year?
We'll see. A day here or a day there. Through the lead and copper, do something else.
So we're going to put that on the agenda for next meeting?
Yeah, it'll be on the next one. The West Street Bridge. So the insulation fell off at the beginning of summer, and I've been chasing companies for the entire summer. So I finally forced one of them to give me a bid, and so it's $15,528 to re-insulate 60 feet of pipe.
Put this up by noon.
Yeah. So nobody else would give me back, and I repeated calls, they wouldn't call back. So I've got a thing out of this, I'm gonna tell them to do it.
How critical is it to insulate that? Is it likely to freeze?
I wouldn't think there's a ton of water going.
I can't see a lot of water
That's
moving
the
back and
problem,
forth there
yeah.
because it's out pretty much on an end leg. It's up by the eastern
What
end.
size is that?
It's 12-inch as it comes up out of the ground and then crosses.
So it's probably not getting enough flow.
No, so
No, because then it ties what, to United?
Yeah.
Goes through there and back out to Manly, so that's not
Right.
gonna be a lot of
right,
water.
there's no real draw there at all. So I don't have a choice. I've got to get it re-insulated. If these guys hadn't given me a price, then I was going to buy the stuff ourselves and go out there and
There's
grab it.
nobody else, huh? Does that seem like the right kind of money to do that?
I know they wouldn't give me, for some reason, they didn't like it, because there's a lot of, it's a lot of hand cutting, because there's restraints all over the thing. So it's not just putting the insulation on, you've got to cut out the restraints and work around it.
And then is it got a stainless steel wrap that goes on it too?
And then it has a stainless steel wrap that goes over it afterwards too, yeah.
And that price includes the wrap.
Yep,
Materials, labor,
yep, everything,
job complete.
yep,
Do we have a written quote on it?
yep, I do.
How many other ones did you try?
I tried, there were 2 other companies also, and they wouldn't call me back.
Did we ask Patrick about anybody that does that? sort of-
Yeah, and the person he gave me was actually a material, he was an insulator, but he sold the materials, he didn't do insulation.
You have to call, just in case somebody asks, that you have documented who you
I'll
called.
try to
that
find
did
my
it.
emails on my.
Yeah, just so if it comes up and we only have the one,
Yep,
you can say,
It
look,
would be
you
nice to
can
have.
say that these people were contacted, here's the
Right.
record it was contacted,
yep,
just so they can't come back at you.
yep,
Especially when we're gonna have, yeah, it'd be nice to have another bid or two.
right, right,
But we're also running out of time, because you don't want
Yeah.
that thing
yeah.
splitting. because then the water will go down that street.
Yeah, well, it did, that's what happened, it blew out of one of the, they must have messed up one of the bell fittings, so the bell, it already had a repair clamp on it, but it blew out, and that's pretty much what washed most of it away.
Yeah, that's the one you said that they were going by, seeing it leaking. and they
Yeah,
wanted to call.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do we need a motion on that?
No, because you can't vote on that, I'm just gonna, it has to be done.
All right.
So 586 Manley Street, I saw in the plan, somebody in the planning board or somewhere, they're splitting the property, that's the,
Is that,
Which one's
Yeah.
586?
yeah, I'm trying. I can bring it up on,
Stadia.
that's it, I don't have to look at it. But, so the barn,
Oh, up towards the brook.
yeah, where they put in the solar field, so the
Yeah.
property is pretty much done. But it looks like they tied the barn illegally or on their own into the water service at some point in time.
The water service going to the house
Yeah,
with no
Done.
meter?
Unmetered.
unmetered. So a couple of years back, we started charging them for an unmetered account. But now they're splitting the property, so the barn is a separate piece of property from the house, so I'm sure they want to sell the house. We have no way to shut off the barn without shutting off the house. So I'm not sure what to do here other than send them a notice that we're gonna terminate their water service until they reconnect the barn.
How long do you think that barn was connected in?
I've
no
been
way to
here
tell.
for 14 years, it's been done since before that. I always wondered, because I kept telling them you could shut off the water to the house, and you'll save yourself, the charges. And they're like, no, I don't want to do that, don't. Then we realized the barn is tied off of the house.
And it's in their property beside it. It's in-
That's correct, yeah, it's in their property somewhere, running across.
So do you know for sure that the barn's gonna end up on a separate piece of property from the house?
Yeah, because they just split it, and it said that the barn was split.
Oh,
So I know for sure it's gonna be, it's a
There's-
separate piece of property.
There's still gonna be an owner for the barn.
Yes,
Send the unmetered connection bill to the owner of the barn.
yeah,
It's a separate-
my problem is that. if
two
it-
separate pieces of property. they
But
should
if
have
the
two
barn,
separate-
it should have a.
Separate curb stop.
It should have its own service. I have no way to terminate it should they not allow us to. They should they should also have a meter, but,
If you can put a meter on it.
Right.
If you can't, it should be at least on its own service, so you can.
Was there anybody living in that house now?
no, the house been empty for, well,
Then send the thing saying we're shutting it off until such time as that the barn is disconnected.
We understand the property's been separated
Yeah.
out.
all right.
Yeah, it's not like we're shutting off the water to somebody who needs the water service intact. We're just
We gotta be careful shutting out, they had horses in that barn, I don't know if they still do it.
They do.
They do.
What they do. So they just need to come in and make a game plan at least.
All right, come in and see us.
Just get
tell us-
their attention.
Right,
You gotta get their attention, have them make a game plan.
yeah. All right,
Somebody's gonna have to pay for it after, it's a separate piece of property now.
But if they subdivided it, they actually sold one or the other?
I don't think they've
They
sold it
probably
yet.
want to get rid of the barn off of it to make it easier to sell the house.
right, because they've done a lot of work, they've dropped a lot of trees around the house and cleaned up the front end of it.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna want water in that barn, it's gonna be a separate service,
It should be a separate service from here on out.
Makes sense. Anybody got anything else?
That's it.
Nope.
Next meeting. 21st.
Oh, I do have one other thing. Good thing we didn't So, in turning the gates, the gate got rounded off on Prospect Street. So in order to do,
The
end of
Before you got it closed, or
No,
before you
it's-
went to reopen it?
when we went to reopen it, it's rounded off. So they sell a tool to remove and replace them. And I'm sure it's not the last rounded off gate we have in town, or not. So it's 88, well, might as well call it $8,900 for the tool. But I want to buy it because I can't do that during the day. I shut off Market Basket, the daycare, Dunkin' Donuts. I shut off a few major businesses in order to do it.
Now, is that shut, is it, did it have to get left shut, you couldn't get it back open?
We can't get it back open.
Oh, you can't get it open?
Right.
And
How
the
old
tool
is-
is $8,800?
Yeah. Well, it's a series of tools also, but it's not.
But you get on it, round it off now?
Yeah, it'll go down and it grabs the bottom of the nut, locks on it, then you drop down a long socket down through it to unscrew the top of the nut, or it comes with a recapping tool should it not come off.
So you don't have to dig it up, you can do it.
Right, do it right in place. Yep.
How old is the valve? Is it worth, is it something that we would be considering replacing
Sounds like we
anyway?
need to change the valve.
Well, so the gate turner aligns a little, but I think it has a lot to do with what happens to the nut. I don't know if that will happen.
The
So-
only thing is that amount of money, it's almost like if you look at it and know that valve would be on a list that we want to replace anyway, just replace it now and budget to get the, but if we weren't gonna,
Because how are you gonna operate it again in the future?
Well, we can't, you have, no matter what, I have to open that back up.
So you use this tool to get it back open,
Yep.
but then we couldn't shut it off and open
No,
it?
it's a new
Then it's
nut.
a new nut.
The only thing that,
Oh.
they took away all my toys.
Oh, so it's like a
Just the
replacement-
nut on the top. Once I replace that, the gate's operable again.
Kind of a Band-Aid though, huh?
Well, it's not a Band-Aid. It's not one of the gates that's leaking all over town after we use them where the packing's bad on the top.
it's still a good gate.
It's still a good gate.
How much is a gate valve cost?
I want to say it's pretty close to that. It's,
What size? Eight?
so that one's a 6-inch.
Does the tool care what size the valves are? Or is it?
No,
we have-
because the
we'll
nut
be
is-
able to use the tool on any
Yep, oh
valve?
no, it's every gate in town it can be used on. It's not just that one. Because the nuts on top are standard.
So it basically puts a replacement nut on top somehow,
Yep.
on top of the nut that's there.
Well, no, you remove the existing nut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're just, it's a 3/4 inch bolt that goes through the top and holds it onto the gate. And then it sits in a
Really?
wedge seat.
And some of these old ones, I can't imagine you're gonna get on that 3/4 inch bolt. It's gonna
Um,
be rusted and crusted and,
Yeah, that's why they sell you a but he's supposed to come out. If the tool arrives, he's gonna come out and do it with us. Doesn't work, we have the thing back. I
I
don't
say
need
the
it.
tool, the
That's a lot. I know we-
tool guaranteed to work?
So Patrick asked about it. I'll ask him who bought, somebody was looking for one, because, like I said, in this case, it shuts down a few major businesses.
I'd wanna talk to somebody that's already got one of those tools and see if they really, that's one of those gadgets that sounds good, but to me, might,
Yeah, I'll ask Patrick who he, because he asked me for the information.
Who's Patrick?
Wow, Patrick
Taylor?
Howard, from Taylor and Howard. Can't think of his last name, Patrick, O'Neill, that's it.
he's looking for one?
Yeah, he was a while back, somebody he knew was looking for it. And I had seen the ad come through a long time back, so I kept the ad.
How did you find it?
They sent out a flyer.
Who?
It's E.H. Walks that sells it.
Not a distributor, just the people that make that.
No, they make the gate turner and vacuums and other things.
So you're actually taking the 3/4 inch bolt out of the top,
Yep,
pulling the old nut off, putting a new nut on, all
Yeah.
through the gate box.
yes, yep. And this gate box is a full gate box, so it's not like a minimized one.
So if it's gonna work, it should work on that.
Yeah.
What happens when you go to do it and it snaps the bolt off, it snaps the nut off?
Well, if the bolt snaps, then it comes with a drill and a tapping thing.
From street
I
level,
know,
drilling
from
and tap-
street level, but
This
it-
thing's starting to sound too good to be true, but
I know, If it works, it works.
No, I get it.
It saves us almost the same
Wayne,
amount of money.
you know how it is working on something like that when it's right in front of you.
Oh, I know.
Let alone down through it.
Yep, I mean, it either works or it doesn't work. If it works, it's about the same amount of money for me to go out there and dig it, and then the inconvenience of the businesses that I'm gonna shut down to try to fix it. That and the fact that it's on top of another gate, so I don't know what I'm gonna find when I get in there. It tees in at that point. West Center Street doesn't come straight down. According to the picture, it comes in and tees in right near that gate also, so it won't be a fun day if we have to dig it up.
What are you getting for 8,800 bucks?
So it's the tool, the rods, it comes with a drill to operate the thing, and that's about it. It's a special tool that goes down and it actually clips under the gate to hold it in place.
And that's like a guide for the.
Yep, and then it's a guide for the socket to go down through or the drill if you have to.
Can't imagine the gate's been there a long time, you're gonna get on that nut and get it off.
Yeah, but
Well, you've taken plenty of old ones out, how's that nut look when you take them out?
Sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. It's, I've never really looked at them. Actually, we had one, we did a try that and see if it.
Took all the displays away.
Yeah, they didn't like seeing it. They were clean freaks.
Carrie?
I'll never find anything ever again.
Look, there's only 3 tools up there.
They saved the old wooden main though for a display.
Those plans that were on the floor were like 2003.
The what?
The plans that were on the floor.
Well, I could see
Oh,
the plans, but it's
Oh.
nice to have pieces.
Oh, all
Yeah,
this.
well, they
is-
just tossed them
Just
all,
out
but
there, he
Oh, it
put
is?
it out, he
yeah,
put
the
it out.
coupons and stuff, some of the coupons weren't even labeled, so I have no idea which main they came out of.
Doesn't matter. We'll find more.
Yeah, no,
Couldn't hurt to clean the house once in a while.
Listen, I've been trying to do it since I got here.
You have?
No, I can't.
You
I
finally
was like,
accomplished it?
Yeah, I can't, yeah, we moved everything.
It does
The
look.
desk over there.
it looks neater.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, you're the ones here every day, so it's fine.
Hey, if you can find some people that use the thing.
I'll ask if somebody used it and it works, I'm
Yeah,
buying
talk to
it. I
East
don't wanna
Bridgewater,
dig that
East
one up
and
if I don't have
Bridgewater.
to.
No, it's like you
Bridgewater
said,
got
you can
one?
use it on anything.
Right.
Any of the valves and the things, well, it wouldn't work on the butterflies probably.
Well, I think they still have the same operating nut. It's a standard operating nut on the top of
Oh.
the gate and on a butterfly.
It's not a bigger nut on some of the bigger valves?
No. No, all of the, like,
What is it, like inch and a quarter by inch and a quarter? Or?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's a square thing that fits down over the shaft. Yeah, the gates I have from 2-inch up to 12-inch, it's the same nut on the top.
It is, huh?
Yeah,
Up to what size?
I have from 2 to 12, so.
But a 16-inch would be better, bigger.
Yeah.
16 to be a butterfly.
Okay.
Right, once you get to the bigger ones, at least in
And
this
what are you
town,
connecting onto on a 16?
Same thing, though. You said it's, the operator nut's the same size.
Oh,
It's
even
just-
on a 16?
It's just
Yeah.
they're not
Yeah.
on top, this.
Right, they're off
They
to
have
the
a
side
gearbox.
in the transmission box.
Do you need us to vote, or
No.
you're just gonna buy that out of your budget?
I just
If-
wanna buy it out of my budget so
Just-
I can get this thing out of my,
Yep.
I don't wanna be out there doing it. And it looks like we'd be doing it at night, and I don't really wanna do that either, cause now it's getting cold.
And right now, it's broken, closed, essentially,
Right.
but nobody's out of water.
Right, nobody's
It's
out
Where
of
is-
whack. It's just
Where is it right now that's closed?
Prospect Street,
Where though, on Prospect?
down at, West Center.
Right out at, in West Center? Or?
Yeah, well, no, it's just in the hair.
Yeah, just in front of Donnie Newman's house.
Yeah, but it's really right at the intersection almost.
It's like it's tees off and it's right there.
Yep,
Yeah.
I don't really wanna be digging it up.
no, I can help
Something
it.
like that will work.
Anybody else got anything else?
Nope. At our next meeting date, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it if I can.
Somebody has to, I can't second
Yes,
my
I will.
motion.
I don't think I can make the motion like a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.